Today I am joined by Femi Oyediran, one of the top sommeliers in South Carolina. Femi is a Nigerian-American who is here today to discuss his immigration story to America, his incredible career as a sommelier, and how he discovered his love of wine. Femi just recently co-opened Graft Wine Shop and Bar located in downtown Charleston, South Carolina, and he has some fun but still sophisticated Halloween treat ideas for the adults for this year's Halloween celebration. Welcome, Femi. How are you?
I'm doing well.
So I have in front of me all of this chocolate and candies and wine, and we're gonna do some wine tasting with you and the entire Brad squad in a little bit. But before we do that, you're one of the top sommeliers in South Carolina. But can you tell everybody out there, what is a sommelier?
Sommelier is simply a wine steward, somebody who has some knowledge, but even more important is an extension of hospitality. I simply am someone that communicates to a guest what they're looking for.
So anybody can call themselves a sommelier, or you have to go to school to become a sommelier? You know, can anyone hang up a sign and say, I'm a wine expert?
Yeah, sommelier is a job title. If I hired someone to work in my place today, they'd be a sommelier by title. But if you want to be certified or have some sort of distinction, then you have to go take an exam. There are several certifying bodies. I chose to go through the Court of Master Sommeliers, and within that, I am an advanced sommelier. But you certainly do not have to take any exam to prove that you're proficient to me.
So the advanced sommelier, where is that on the pecking order? Is that like the highest degree you could have, the second highest degree?
It's the second to last examination in the court, so it's the third level out of 4.
And how many people do you think reach that level?
You know, I don't know for sure, but I would imagine it's somewhere around 1,000.
And how long did you have to study to get to that level?
For me, it took a very short amount of time. I passed my advanced level about a year and a half or so after I took my first exam.
So you weren't always a sommelier, you were a DJ beforehand, is that correct?
Yeah. You know, DJ was a part of what I did. I was definitely very involved in music. I performed with a few different bands. I DJ'd here and there, and then I also owned a promotion company. So I'd bring acts from out of town and host them in different spaces in Charleston.
So who are your favorite artists?
Oh man, so many. Depends on the day. It's like wine, you know. Different wines I want to drink, and I've got different people I want to listen to.
Give me an example of like a wine that you would drink and some song you would listen to.
A song I would listen to?
With like, what's like a favorite wine and song combo that you have?
It depends. It depends on the day, but tell you what, just because I'm feeling good today, I'll say that today I would drink some Pinot Noir from Kelly Fox in Oregon.
Why is that? That's just a happy drink, or?
Because the wine's delicious.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, delicious?
Because their wines are delicious.
Perfect. So how did you
Music-wise, we'll say listen to Donny Hathaway these songs for you live. I think that's great.
And you have a go-to wine and song when you want to be a little more romantic with somebody?
I think that's a perfect combination right there.
Right there? Perfect. So how did you go from being a DJ and in the entertainment business to being a sommelier?
Because being a DJ, well, I wasn't just a DJ, but doing all those things is a lot of fun, but it doesn't always pay the bills. So I started working in restaurants to kind of fund what I was doing at the time. And from working in restaurants to really being around food and great wine personalities, I kind of took an interest, picked up some books, and dove deep into the world of wine.
Wow. And now I understand you just opened up your wine shop. Is that where you are right now? It's the wine shop and bar. It's called Graft in South Carolina. Tell us about your new business.
Oh man, Graft is a lot of fun. Graft is certainly a labor of love. It's a project started by my partner Miles White and I. We've been open for about 7 months. It's a really unique concept. It kind of is the best of both worlds. We are a retail store and a wine bar. And the great thing about what we do here is that you can buy a bottle of wine and take it home, or you can, if you want, you can sit down, have a glass, shop for a bottle, or you can grab a bottle off the shelf and drink here with us. And we always have good music playing, and it's a good time. So it's really social, and I think it makes wine not just accessible, but it makes it sexy at the same time.
You know, I think one of the biggest things with wine is people get intimidated. They look at a wine list when they go to a restaurant. They don't know one wine from the next. They don't know the grapes, the different regions, the different types of wines. What do you think about that?
I think that that's unfortunate because, I think that as a business owner, you want people to participate in what you're selling. You want to sell. So the idea that people feel that wine is inaccessible, I think, is a product of poor design. And I think that what we do here is we focus less on educating people, but focus more on talking to them and using our sommelier skills to find them a really appropriate wine that they would enjoy.
Now, what would you say to the people who say, oh, that's all wonderful, that's great, but I can't afford, expensive bottles of wine. That's just not in my price point.
That's totally okay. We're excited to get them a bottle of wine. Luckily, every single bottle of wine, no matter how cheap or expensive that is here, is a wine that we love. So no matter how much you're looking to spend, I'm happy with whatever you leave with because you got it here.
So what's a good affordable wine? What would you pay for a good affordable wine?
Where do we start? I mean, there's so many you can go for. I mean, one of my favorites is Little Garnacha from from southern France, in the southern Rhone, by Andre Brunel, and just his Grenache. It's a red wine. It's light on its feet for a Pinot Noir drinker. It's delicious. Under $15. It's farmed organically. I mean, what more could you ask for? It's a fantastic wine.
So for 2 6-packs of beer, you can get a great bottle of wine, right? 2 6-packs, maybe even more than $15, I think.
Yeah. Well, grapes, they come from the ground. Beer gets made in a tank.
Right. So I understand your family were not wine drinkers, though, for religious, cultural reasons. Tell us a little bit about it and your upbringing.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. I think like many in my parents' generation that moved to the country, for religious reasons or more, they don't drink. They don't participate in alcohol. So drinking alcohol was certainly a foreign idea to me for many years. So when I first started working in restaurants, it was really kind of like my first, not only just tango with alcohol, but I was also thrust into the world of fine wine, which, as you can imagine, was a big learning curve. But I had some great mentors and partners that walked me through the process, and I was able to kind of learn very quickly.
So tell us a little bit about where were you originally born?
Yeah, I was born in Lagos, Nigeria.
So when did you come to America?
We came to America in 1990.
So what were your first memories, you think? You remember what it was like growing up as a Nigerian in America?
First memories, yeah. I mean, first memories, I think, were my family first immigrated to Alabama, and we were at some point we were in Huntsville. I'll say my earliest memories are absolutely in Huntsville, and we were really welcomed into the community by a gracious couple, kind of the pastor team and wife team at a local church, and they were really phenomenal, and the entire church community welcomed us into Huntsville, and that was really, I think, those are my first, most cherished memories as far as not only being alive, but also being in this country.
Was your family able to keep any cultural or religious customs from Nigeria, or are you all kind of Americanized now?
Cultural for sure. I mean, growing up, I was absolutely inundated with Nigerian culture every day. My parents almost hung out exclusively with Nigerians, whether we were living in Alabama or when we went to Cleveland, Ohio. There was a group called the Nigerian Circle of Friends, and I was constantly around Nigerian children and constantly eating Nigerian food. My father had the Nigerian newspapers mailed to him regularly, so those were always sitting on the counter. We always listened to Nigerian music. Juju music was always being played about. So, I certainly didn't feel very removed from the Nigerian experience outside of being in Nigeria, but we would go there often. So whenever we would visit, we'd stay for about a month. So I certainly think my parents made an effort to make sure that we understood where we were from and that we felt like we weren't distant.
So how did your mom react when you told her you were going to be a sommelier? I guess her first reaction would have been, you drink alcohol, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Or did she know that already?
I covered both of those in the same conversation.
Yeah, how'd she react?
But you know what? She had a really fantastic response. She said that she didn't understand, but she said she was absolutely proud of me. And to this day, she's very proud and shares any articles about me.
Wow, that's amazing mother.
It's a fantastic mother.
Yeah, it's a fantastic mother. So now Halloween, we got all this candy in front of me and some wines here that you recommended. Before we get into our wine tasting here with the Brad Squad, Halloween's coming upon us here, which you know. Do they celebrate Halloween in Nigeria, by the way?
Whether or not Nigeria celebrates Halloween, I think it depends on who you talk to.
Right.
But growing up, I think that based on my parents' religious preferences, etc., at the time, and just being in the early 90s, no, we didn't celebrate Halloween.
Right.
There was a Halloween party or a big school Halloween celebration. My parents would just make me sit out. I wouldn't go to school that day.
Okay. All right. So I got all this candy here, Femi.
Yeah.
I got chocolates, Milky Ways, Reese's Pieces, Snickers. What else did they tell? I got Hershey's chocolates here. I got some gummy bears, some sour gummies, some Skittles, and you had recommended some wine here. The first,
some wine.
The first wine I have here, it's a 2016. I'm reading this here on my cards. A 2016 Donna Fugata Ben Rye Pasito. See, I don't know what this is. You see, this would be intimidating to me.
Sure.
And I don't know what this is, where this is from, other than it sounds Italian.
Yeah, it is definitely Italian. It's from the island of Sicily. It is a pasito wine, so it's made from dried fruit. But the grape there is Zabibo, which is kind of an indigenous grape to that region, very similar to Muscat. But Ben Rye is, I think, a really delicious dessert wine that I think reminds me of orange Tootsie Roll Pops as a kid. So I think that is really just a delicious wine to enjoy with candies like this, yeah.
So it's going to be an orange-tasting grape.
Oh, man.
I see it's almost yellow in color, a little orangey yellowish in color here. And
Tootsie Roll Pop is the best way to describe it.
And it would smell orangey to me. What should it smell like?
I think it smells just like an orange Tootsie Roll Pop.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
It does. So what would you pair this with?
I think it could go well with anything, honestly. I mean, that's the great thing about sweet wines when you're working with desserts, because as long as you have something that is chocolatey and kind of salty, it'll play well. And I think that if you've got like something like Skittles or like a Starburst, it'd be fantastic too. But I think that out of this bunch here, I would probably pick like a Reese's or something like that.
A Reese's. Okay, I got a Reese's right here. Now, when you taste wine and food, unless you tell me differently, how I was taught is you drink the wine first and then eat the food after. Is that correct?
Yeah, whichever you want to do.
Or it does. Oh, you can eat the chocolate first.
Around my mouth.
You can eat the chocolate first. Wouldn't that change the taste of the wine?
I say eat the chocolate first and wash it down with a little Donna Fugata.
Really? Okay. That's what I'm going to do.
It.
That's what I'm going to do. 1 second here. There's a lot of wrappers here on this chocolate.
I see that.
All right. So Reese's. Good. Take some time to eat the Reese's.
Yeah.
1 second.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm chewing and talking at the same time. Bad manners. My apologies.
Looks like a very good vintage of Reese's.
No, it is. And wow, it's excellent.
Yeah?
Excellent.
Good.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think that's a really...
It's a really good combination. It really tastes really good. It kind of pops in your mouth with the chocolate in it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's really, really good. All right, so now I guess I'll be drunk by the end of this. I have here the second wine pairing, which is the this is also, I assume, Italian.
Okay, yeah.
Marengo Braccetto d'Acqui.
Yeah. So
that-
Braccetto is a grape that is grown in northwestern Italy around the foothills of Piedmont. So it's usually made into a sparkling wine, which you have here, kind of a semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. And to me, Braccetto is fantastic with chocolate. So chocolate cakes, little true chocolate candy bars, like a good Hershey's or something, even with some deeper chocolate, could be a lot of fun. But to me, Braccetto and chocolate is like cookies and milk. So find yourself any chocolate bike and I think witness the wonder.
So this is a sparkling wine, which I guess, when people hear that champagne, it's like, but it's not from the Champagne region, I guess.
Honestly, you don't even have to think about it like that. I think anybody who doesn't normally drink wine, who likes to drink like soda, normally they'll find themselves just at home because it drinks like a delicious soda.
It smells cherry to me a little bit. Is that what I'm smelling?
Yeah, definitely cherry, strawberry scented, raspberry.
Yeah, like a berry scent. That's what it smells.
Sure.
I love smelling wines. It always gets me excited to guess if, I'm smelling it properly or not, like, am I smelling oak? I'm smelling cherries. And you said that this should go with also chocolate?
Yeah, I think that could be a lot of fun. I've got a little Braccetto here myself.
Okay, great. So we're both, now is it going to be different if I have the wine first and the chocolate after, or you really think you should wash it down?
I think that, when you're eating a meal and drinking wine, you're enjoying things in different combinations. So I say, just kind of do it however you want.
All right, so this time I'm going to drink the wine first and then do the chocolate after. See how that goes. Wow, that's really good too. What is the price of these wines? Are these expensive wines I'm drinking?
Now, these are not expensive wines. The Donafogata will probably be maybe the priciest of the bunch, which should be around, $25 to $30 retail. The Porchetta di Acqui should be about $20 retail.
It's very good. Excellent. All right, so the third wine we have here is the Formonos Madrid Tinto, which is a red wine from Spain. Now it says here, what are I mean, there's a lot of information on this label here. What information should I be taking off of this label?
The Formonos is a collaboration of four friends making wines in the Gredos Mountains, a little west of Madrid. Kind of a natural wine project. The wine is mainly Garnacha or Grenache, which is one of my favorite grape varieties. And you know what? It's just so juicy, delicious. It's got some tartness, almost kind of like a Jolly Rancher candy, and I think it's just so deep and delicious. So, and it's also a light wine, so I think it's something that you crave worthy around a bag of candy.
All right, so let's see what, and this will have what kind of. This has more of like almost a licorice smell to me a little bit.
Yeah.
Am I smelling that right?
Not everybody wants to drink sweet wines
right.
with dessert. So I think sometimes you've got to find a wine that appeals to people that like drier style wines.
Yeah.
So for me, I just look for something that's kind of got some juiciness and some richness that can kind of play off kind of those sweeter flavors you get in the candies.
So then I'm going to take, it's like kind of a sugary gummy worm. I'm going to eat that with this. Okay, let's go. Wow, I chew very loud. I can't believe that. But gummies take a long time to. You know what I should do? I should wash the gummies down with the wine.
How's it going?
That's fantastic.
Good.
I'm going to tell you something. I never thought of drinking wine and having candy before in my life, but this is like a whole new thing for me now.
This is going to be a new arena for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's going to be, having candy and wine. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That is absolutely amazing. All right, so now this.
Don't tell kids.
Now this last one we have here, is this pronounced Gil or Gil?
Schreibe.
Schreibe Cabernet, 2017. Tell me a little bit about this wine. What is this?
That's Schreibe, which is another grape that's grown in Germany, but in different versions, it can offer some different characteristics. But Val does a really fantastic job because theirs just tastes like mandarin orange, and it's got all these beautiful citrus flavors.
Yeah.
And dry wine with just a touch of sugar that I think, wow, if you like something to go along with like a Starburst candy or something that's red fruited or citrus candy. How
about Skittles? We'll go all the way down here to the end and get some Skittles. Some Skittles here. And I was going to say, you said orange. It's funny. I was going to say it smells a little bit like tangerines to me.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a great descriptor.
So I'm going to have some Skittles here. I'm going to wash this down. And you said this is from Germany?
It is definitely from Germany.
What region right now is making really good wines that would surprise people, that you think? Everybody knows Burgundy and Brunello and Napa. But what's like one of the regions that's making great wines and really, unheralded?
Sicily would be one for sure.
Really?
I think one of my favorite regions to drink wine from is definitely Sicily. So that's definitely one to explore.
I was just in Sicily. I was just in Sicily about 4 weeks ago, and I actually went wine tasting in Sicily.
Yeah, there are some great wines.
Yeah, it was great wines there.
Volcano Mount Etna. But even more importantly, there's some others. There's the Finger Lakes in New York. Australia there's some really fantastic winemakers and passionate people making wine in Australia. I think the conversation is growing every day for wines around the world.
Well, this has been really fun, and I have a lot more candy and wine to drink, but I think you got to get back to work at some point. So Femi, so where can people find out more about Graft Wine Shop and Bar?
They can follow us on social media. If you look on Instagram, you can find us at Graft, GRAFTCHS. And otherwise, you can check us out on our website, graftchs.com. So We're always posting some fun updates on our social media, so it's always fun to pay attention to see what we're up to.
And business is going well so far, right?
Having a good time. Waiting for you to come down.
It's fantastic. I love Charleston. I may come down. You invite me, I could get on a plane quickly, especially when there's wine involved. So I really appreciate you joining us. Before I let you leave, though, we ask everybody this because this is a show about immigration and reaching your dreams, and everybody has different dreams. Tell me about what your American dreams are. Have you reached them yet? And if not, what are they?
My American dreams, man. I think that every day that I wake up and I come up with ideas and I try to make them bring them to fruition. I think that's an American dream, right? So I feel very, very blessed to be able to do what I do every day in Charleston, South Carolina. So I think that there's always more to add, but it's always a point to give thanks for what I have currently.
Well, I think you are a great example of the American dream. You were not born in the United States, and here you are, and you educated yourself in something you didn't think that you would ever 10 years ago that you would ever be so knowledgeable about wine, and you took that knowledge and you started your own business, and we wish you all the best success and best of luck in it, and definitely I may come down to Charleston and knock on your door one day.
All right, well, I look forward to it, and thank you for the support.
Thank you. Thanks for coming on.